The fact that you scored a phone number of an attractive person doesn't necessarily mean that you can score a date with them too. In order to do so, you must lead the conversation in the appropriate direction. In a moment, you'll hear a few valuable tips that will largely increase your effectiveness. The first principle of arranging a date with a newly met person is doing so by calling instead of texting them. Why? Because when you call, you hear all of their emotions. This makes it easier to know how much the person is interested in you. Talking on the phone is an opportunity to increase your attractiveness. It's much harder to do through text messages. Thirdly, you don't have to wait until the person responds because you get the answer right away. You either meet or you don't. Simple as that. What should you do if you can't get through to the person via telephone? Try once more in an hour or so. If it doesn't work the second time, then you have to wait until that person contacts you first. If there's a chance that they may not have saved your number, then right after the second phone call, send a short text message. For example, "Hi, it's Robert. Call me when you can." Another important principle is not to suggest a meeting right away. Your job is to lead a short and interesting conversation in order to summon emotions similar to the ones you felt during your first date. This will make you more attractive. Usually, the first thing I ask when I call a girl is what she's up to. She briefly responds with whatever she's doing at the moment, and this lets me then tell her about what I'm doing or anything that's happened to me that day. This is an opportunity to tell a story of what just happened and leave some understatements that will intrigue the listener. After you raise the level of emotion after this kind of introduction, you'll have a greater chance to receive a positive response from the person that you want to meet. Suggest a specific time, preferably still the same day. Why? Because the more time passes between your phone call and the meeting, the less the person may be interested in you, which in turn increases the probability of them canceling or rescheduling the meeting. I like to call this the sleepy night effect. But when you call and want to meet the same day, there's a likelihood that the person already has plans for the evening. In this case, you can say, "No problem, when are you free?" and schedule the meeting together. However, to avoid the sleepy night effect and bring up a bit of uncertainty, say, "Okay, we can initially plan on this date, but I still don't know if I can make it for sure. I'll call you the day of the meeting and let you know." This simple principle gets the listener thinking about whether or not you'll be able to make it to the date instead of thinking about if they want to go themselves. This makes you a challenge, and the other person will be waiting for your response whether they like it or not. Also, when you call the day of the meeting, lead another stimulating conversation to raise their interest. Another important tip is that you shouldn't convince or persuade anyone to meet you. This is a very big mistake that shows how much this date means to you. This will make you less of a challenge. After you propose a meeting and get rejected, simply say, "I understand. It was just an idea." Using this strategy, you'll minimize the probability of rejection. But remember that it is most useful when you're quite sure how much the person is interested in you. If during your first date you made an indelible first impression, you can break all the rules and still score another date in the end. If you want to check how confident and aware you are, please go to my website, robertmarchell.com, and take a short and completely free test. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more movies like this in the future, please subscribe to my channel and like my Facebook page. See you next week.